Hey guys, it's it's me. Um, I know to some of you that this is a surprise. Some of you maybe not. I've been leaving so many minor hints that I hope that some of the most perceptive of you have caught on. And the first thing I want to say is I'm sorry, Haze, but you were right. There was a reason I didn't answer your question with a yes or no, because at the time I didn't have the heart. I couldn't do it. Flamer had just recently left, and I couldn't do that to you. But I just wanted to say that my time that's been on the server has been fun. Really, really fun. The time that I was here, I was enlisted for a week, maybe. Who would have thunk this little trainee would become colonel? Um, it's almost hard to talk about, but I hope that everyone can forgive me for sudden my sudden resignation. Mac, I saw you try to become Ark, but couldn't. I apologize for that. Today is December 31st, 8:15 p.m. on the Eastern Standard Side of America. So, this is my third recording of this, as I've tried to figure out exactly what I need to say in not really enough time. My time on the server was interesting. I first started out wanting to join my best friend, Masterson. He left in April. He joined before me and left way before I did. But I will never forget how I got in. Because I didn't know my faces or my formations quite right, even though I already had the whitelist. Back in 2018, I think it was 2018, October, because there was the aliens in the Venator on the server. I joined Masterson, and Bloodwolf taught me everything, so I didn't have any more knowledge beyond that day for another 2 years. I had 2 strikes when I did my tryout, and my one saving grace was the assault reg against the colonel. I didn't know what the ranks were. But in my head, I thought, you know what? I really love defending. That is my favorite thing, hunkering down and defending. So I'm gonna follow the guy who asks to defend. Because the person, whoever that is, who's going out to attack, could probably get us all killed. And that was my thought process. back January 2nd, 2020. You know, I missed playing with him when he left Masterson. It became a lot different, but I always thought to myself I wouldn't be a package deal. I would join because of someone, but not leave because of someone. Leaving as well. No. I never, ever wanted to do that to anybody. Because I don't like the thought of being a package deal. Trainee 1038 Candlewax. If you look in scrapbooking, you can see my first picture was of some people breaking the Anaxi's bunk room doors. I don't know how that happened, but it was funny at the time. I loved it. This was but one portion of my experience that taught me to have fun and not take it too seriously. Masterson didn't quite have that. Masterson took the game too seriously, and it got too stressful for him. And I will admit, Tamewater consumed my life for almost an entire year. I was nothing but Tamewater. Even when I talked about stuff, it was only Tamewater when it came to real life situations. But it wasn't bad, because I learned things. I came out of my shell a bit more. As many of you know, I'm autistic. And for a while, as I've been told, it affected me negatively. I had problems talking to strangers. I had problems going up to people and saying, hey, there's this going on. Or, hey, I need this. Can I have some, I had issues with walking up to people and doing that. But when I had my 2-week giveaway in October, my parents noticed something. One, I could go up to people and just ask for something. No shyness, no hesitation, just, hey, I need this. Do you have some? Or, hey, there's an issue. It needs to be addressed. And one that I remember clearly is a woman. We were looking at houses, and Mom told her that I'm autistic, and the woman said, well, you don't look autistic, when there's not a look. So I asked her almost immediately, before anyone else could respond, what does autism look like? And according to my parents, that was such a huge thing. And I have the people I joined in with and you guys to thank for that. Because of Candlewax, I'm so much more sure of myself. Because of joining here, it helped me in real life. And usually games don't do that. Anyway, I don't remember when I became sergeant, but I became staff sergeant before I became lead ARF. Blart did my tryout into the 212th. Blart did my tryout into ARF, and Blart made me his chief. And speaking of, I wish I had one instead of leaving it empty. But if I may if those of you that are in would allow, ask me if you can become lead ARF or chief ARF. And there's only a few people I would allow this. Right now, I believe it would be any of my senior ARFs, any of my ARCs, or Fizz. He's one of my ARCs too, just in another battalion. This year has had its ups and downs, ins and outs, and I never really got to do what I really wanted to do on this server. Not directly. As a few of you know, I am a very serious role player. 92% of the time, even in an area where I was out of character, I was Candlewax, not me. Fizz knows this well. There were very few times where I was out of character. And to those of you that remember, do you remember when you all were chasing me down the halls and Fizz was after me? And I kept changing whitelists. That was so fun. And I was out of character, because there would be no way I could have been in character, but I was just laughing, giggling mess. And that was so fun. And that's something that needs to be addressed. Fun. It shouldn't be... Nothing should ever be excessively hard. You know, this isn't the Dark Souls of Clone Wars RP. You know, it shouldn't be so beginner unfriendly that, you know, no one wants to be here. And that was something I did my best to cultivate. Was a fun and relaxing and exciting battalion to be in. I wanted this place to be a safe haven away from everything. I wanted this place to be fun, exciting, and relieving. To have, for you to get off from work, get home from school, and think, Tamewater, yes, I have time. Let's see what Candlewax, let's see what Marvin, let's see what Haze, let's see what Jumba, Zom, Pyrrha, Fizz, Spring Rolls, everyone. Let's see what the 212th is doing. This was such an exciting and fun place for me to be. I loved every moment I was online. But this last month where I was off on ROA, I had time. to get on. You know, some of you know that I've been playing other games, but I realized I wasn't having fun when I was playing Fallout, and I saw an event notification that Con put up. DEFCON 5. Seems to be the usual fare now, isn't it? But but I thought to myself, okay, I can either keep playing Fallout 4 or I can get on for the event. I should get on for the event, but no. I want to keep playing Fallout 4. And it was in that moment that occurred to me that I wasn't having fun anymore. Things were changing. Things were being forced upon others that I felt unnecessary. Things were... And it was nothing to do with the 212th. It was everything above. The new OCS really stressed me out thinking about it, because what if someone didn't like me? It's very opinionated instead of unbiased point system. It is, you can still fail but be passed if you're a good leader, but some people are too hard, and this kind of system, in my opinion, would only work if there was one person doing it, or two. But even then, that has its flaws. I never wanted to go down, what is it, Major? I never wanted to go back down to Major. None of you. I never wanted anyone to see me demoted, because I failed this new system because the person didn't like me. And I know some people probably don't like me, don't care. But there's more to leading than a simulation in an event, or during, or an event mindset, you know. There's more to it than that. There is keeping up morale. There is laughing with everybody. There is going to other games even and playing with with everybody. We're still the 212th even though we're in Minecraft. You know, there was a lot of people who shaped my experience. Lex, Beskar, as he is right now. He was the person to promote me to CT. And I still remember that it was me and Masterson guarding a wall. All the action was happening at Outpost Alpha on Anaxi's base. I remember making the statement, you know, it'd be funny if I got promoted for guarding a wall where nothing happened. And that's exactly what happened. Because Beskar got up, called me up, I froze, didn't know what to think, and I got promoted. I was very shy in the beginning, but very quickly got into the swing of things. a lot of my experiences were fun. I know Kairos wasn't on every day like I was. No one was on as much as I was in the first 4 months of my playtime. There would be times where I was the only person on and I was practicing Climb Sweat. I became private very quickly. I aced my tryout. It was a little scuffed, but I still aced it. It did not take long. It was really, really nice to become ARF. And then I stuck as ARF for the remainder of my time here. And it shaped Candlewax. Candlewax became more serious, more focused. In the beginning, back in 2018 when I thought of his name, Candlewax, it was supposed to be a mingier version. Focused on all the wrong things. It's slow to do anything. Almost like he himself was just melted candle wax on the inside. You know, there's a light on, but he's not got much up there. And to think, Candlewax has become a name that no one here will forget. It has become a name so out there that anyone else probably wouldn't think to do it, and if anyone else does, they're wrong, because it's not me. And I don't particularly think that. There can be more than one Candlewax. But there's only one me. But there was never role play for what I wanted. There was for Jedi, but when I was Zuzu, I didn't have that much fun. The play style irked me. I was not a fan of how Jedis worked. Anything else, though, I was fine with. It was just lightsaber combat was boring. Not my cup of tea. But I know for many people, Zuzu will be a name they won't forget either. The person who made their lightsaber. The one who's likes and talking like this. The yodeler, essentially. I just yodel when I talk as him. Switching between my chest voice, which is right now, and my head voice. Which, if I use my head voice, I start sounding like Mickey Mouse. So, you know. But, for the most part, I had fun here. And if I had a chance to do it again, I'd do the same thing. Because this helped me out in so many ways. You know, I love to teach. That was my favorite thing. And I still will likely teach for ages to come, because I have videos that show at least the different bits of Climb Sweat. I will say, when I was reviewing them, my voice was recorded twice, so it sounds weird, but I'm not going to record them again. I don't have the motivation. I did it once, and it's all I needed. Anyway, there were a lot of people in the beginning that shaped my time here. Masterson, my best friend who brought me in here. We had such a fun time. He was lead heavy, I was lead ARF, and we were to work hand in hand together. Blart, my lead ARF, he taught me a little bit. Lex taught me some. But I learned everything that I could on my own. Jumba, you were lead heavy before Masterson, and then you became Cody. And I'm still miffed about my demotion, because you contradicted yourself so many times in your message to me, demoting me back to warrant officer for inactivity. When my grandmother was in the hospital, and I was so worried. But that's in the past. I'm not as butthurt about it anymore. I am a little bit, not as much. Zom, Boyle. It was fun serving under you in Galactic, in Ghost Company. I got a message about the new commander, who would be new Commander Cody. I won't worry about that right now, though. Message him later. But Emil, you know, Zom, it was fun to serve you as one of your Ghost Company troopers. That was a really fun time, even though we had the shitty shotgun pistol. I made it work once when an NPC was standing on top of my head. But Emil, you were one of the ones that I've mentioned so far that have helped me keep the fun. You know, keeping the fun was so important to me. And the people I was around reinforced it. Because in the end, it's a game. And it should never be taken seriously. This is not life. It shouldn't be dreadful to get on. Viking, Executive Officer to a Commander. Rob Leo Darte. I still remember the day where we had just finished a simulation in the Anaxi sim room, and and there was this singular B2 droid. So you decided, let's have a little fun, and shouted, "Alright, 212th Fisting Battalion, let's go." Or similar, I just remember Fisting Battalion. But we all went to that droid and beat the crap out of it until it died. And that was fun. I loved it. That is one of my favorite memories. Kairos, you're cool. You don't take shit. You know. But you still kept things fun. You know? Lynx. The first Obi-Wan I saw. One of the most active. You were awesome during your time here. A good Yoda. And I'm popping my joints really quick. This isn't like push to talk where I can just let go. But you left some pretty big shoes for Fizz to fill. And I think Fizz has filled them well. Fizz has definitely done his best. Spring rolls. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk that we would have had a dynamic that spawned from you taking me and some others back to Anaxes from Alpha carrying a bathtub? Because we got back there, it was late at night. Well, another one of my favorite memories. Late at night, and, well, no one was responding to our PTE. So what you did was, you said, okay, Candlewax, get off the tub. I got something. So I get off the tub, and you gunned me down. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Well, I didn't have attack at the time, so he's like, just respawn, you'll be back at bunks. And then you killed yourself with a tub. I watched you do it. Because I didn't respawn yet, because I was wondering what you were doing. But that was one of my favorite memories. And who would have thunk that in claimed areas or even in bunks, we would just shoot each other. Sometimes for the heck of it or revenge. You know? Who would have thunk it was that dynamic between us? And so normal. Every one of you have taught me to keep the fun in so many different ways. But Candlewax was a serious character, and playing him was fun for me. So I had my own way. Scrub. You weren't one of my first students, but you were definitely one of the good ones. You came in with Midnight, and I had thoughts about you and Midnight, but recent events have proven me wrong, and I'm glad for it, because both of you are nice, good people. Just not my kind of humor. Xavier, Mikey, Guide, my first students. Xavier, my one and only Alpha Arc. Mikey, my Arc never to be. And Guide, I don't know what happened, but you just, I guess, didn't have fun anymore. And neither did Mikey. So you left. And I had so much fun teaching you guys. All of you. I remember Xavier, you were so cocky in the beginning, like you knew everything about Climb Sweat. And you knew the trainee course pretty well, but not my intermediate. You didn't know how to do an E-jump. Which, when I taught you, I just smiled and thought, yeah, that's a humbling experience, isn't it? But you became Alpha Arc, and on your own became Sawbridge Commander. And then, now you're Rex. And I couldn't have asked for a better student. To have gone so far on their own. Very proud of you. Fizz, Obi-Wan, Mythosaur. Man, you're awesome. You, Pura, Haze, Flamer, Khan, Marvin, all of you, Okami, everybody. You guys came in midway in my time here when everyone else was leaving. You guys came in. And it's been so fun. Fizz. Man, I don't know why, but you could always get me out of character. Something would always happen that would get me out of character around you. Don't know why. But I am very happy to be called friends of all of you. Called a friend with all of you. This isn't goodbye, you know. This is more like see you later. I'm gonna stick around, but I'm not gonna be on server anymore. And again, I'm sorry, Haze. But all of you have shaped my experience here to be so, so fun. And for that I thank all of you. But I think this is about all I have to say. Aside from Skippy, I didn't like you in the beginning, we're gonna be honest. Wording is a big issue with me. How you say something. You know, you can say 10 different things and still mean the same thing, but that's 10 different paths that you have to go down, and you decided that one. So in the beginning, I did not like you. But now, you've done good with the time you've had. And you have named successors. Though, I want Haze to be Cody. Nothing against Reggie. And just trying to be as unbiased as possible. But I have my reasons. You can DM me and ask me what they were. But Haze, I know you more. And I know what you can do. And I would love to see you as Cody. But, I think that's it. So, this is Colonel Candlewax signing off. Until next time.